Hey, I am Shauna Hayden. I'm the director of a nonprofit in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And the name of the place I work is Parkersburg Urban Ministries, funded by a whole gob of United Methodist churches. But I'm talking about something else today, because in social media, I have seen repeatedly all these wonderful agencies and missions and projects, all these places stepping up saying, hey, we will help, especially if you are a furloughed government employee. Guys, we're here, we'll help. And then I see in the comments questions like, how do I get help? What happens? What do I need? So hopefully I can help answer some of those questions for you today. First off, please do not be ashamed or embarrassed. It might be your first time having to ask for help because either you haven't received a paycheck or maybe you haven't been able to receive your normal disability payment or something like that. But we're set up to help. All of us agencies, that's all we do all day long is we see people who need help. Trust me, we're not going to look at you as less than anybody else or as somehow you have failed. This is simply humanity and the reality of it, especially with financial things, because so often we really have limited control over it. So please, please do not be embarrassed and come get help. So what do you need? What do you do? I tell people all the time, first, call ahead. See what their hours and times and days and all of that business are. See what all they offer. We're listed as a food pantry, and then we do the other two. You wouldn't know that if you didn't call us, right? So call. Then, usually, whoever answers the phone can also tell you what you might need. Most of the time, you're going to need some very basic things. Some sort of ID that proves you're you, okay? Driver's license, whatever, something that proves you're you. If you need food, a lot of times there are income guidelines. So you may have to bring proof of how much your income is. Now, even if people don't collect proof, they often will ask. So the questions are, how much is your average monthly income? Do you get food stamps? How much do you get a month? Do you pay rent? How much is it a month? How many people live in the household? Okay? So name, address, phone number, and even social security number, at least the last 4 digits, because that's all how we verify you are you and no one is using your information for their own purposes. Okay? So please don't be put off by that. Then, some of us are more strict with government guidelines and are more bound by different policies with board bylaws and outlines and all of that stuff. So bear that in mind and ask questions. You're allowed to do that. It is okay. And you'll find that we all pay for different things in different ways with different amounts, and we all have different availability. Now, for folks whose income has changed due to this government shutdown, what you need to know is when you fill out this paperwork, you do not put what is your typical monthly income. You need to put what it is right now. So say you are both employed at government agencies and you're both laid off and you have kids in the house. You're not going to put what you made when both of you were getting your paychecks. You're going to put 0 because you're not getting your paychecks, okay? If one of you is furloughed and the other's not, you're only going to put what the other one's income is. Remember that, because that's where people get messed up and they'll think that you may not be eligible for something and yet you are. So fill it out with what it is now, how you've been affected. And then, if you need utility assistance, bring again your most recent bill or termination notice. If it's something like prescription assistance, have the phone number of your pharmacy with you. Many of us will call the pharmacist and verify the amount, because often we may have an account set up at the pharmacy, so they'll bill us. or they'll know they're going to receive a check from us or something along those lines. Your patient privacy is not violated. We only need to speak to the pharmacist to verify the amount needed for your prescriptions. If you're there for food, most of us, food pantries anymore are choice-based, which means you get to tell us what you will and won't eat. So we don't give you 5 cans of green beans if you detest green beans. All right. Not all places. There are a few places that do just give you the box of food and that's it. But more and more food pantries are choice-based. We will help you navigate that system. We will tell you what to do and what is expected and how to work through it. Because remember, we do this all day. We've got this down. Trust us. It is okay. So come on in and get help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And then just remember us the next time you know someone who needs help, or maybe you get a pay raise at some point in time. So come Christmas, remember that little food pantry that gave you help when you needed it, because then we can help someone else again later. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully I've remembered everything that's sort of important. And then if you have questions, again, never ever be afraid to call your local agencies and find out. And if you're in a town and you don't know where help is or where to start, try looking up first the United Way. Often they have a collection of names and phone numbers. Many cities are set up with 211, where if you call 211, someone can tell you where you can go get help. And often in most counties, there is the Family Resource Network, who often has a directory of agencies that will help in various capacities. Okay? So, and much of that is also available online if you are an internet person instead of a phone person. So hopefully this has helped you, and hopefully you will go get help if you need it, and recognize that today you might be the person getting help, tomorrow you might be the person giving help. It's called being human, and guys, it's okay. So I hope your life is good, and if it's not, I hope it gets better.